So Dr. Garima Sapre is a PhD in psychology, and she retired recently as an associate professor of psychology from LAD College, Nagpur. She has a teaching experience of more than 30 years, and she has also guided and counseled students interested in adventure sports. At present, she's working as an honorary president of an NGO called Shakti Peeth at Nagpur. This is an NGO that works in the field of empowerment of women. So let us hear Dr. Garima Sapre's views today. So, as I was saying, that this was a very brief introduction, Garima, but a little bird told me that you once paraglided and landed in front of our Prime Minister at that time, Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Can you tell us something about that experience and how it happened?
Okay. It was in 1980. Every year after Republic Day parade, there is a Prime Minister's rally in Delhi, and the participants have an opportunity to march past in front of Prime Minister's stage. And at that time, there was an all India competition about gliding in Delhi. So I was the winner of that competition. So that was the opportunity for me to glide my glider just in front of the stage and welcome him on the occasion.
It was a truly memorable event.
Yes.
And I've known you since so many years. And this process of getting these interviews was what led me to actually find out all this about you. And you have counseled other students also who have been interested in adventure sports. So, were you always interested in adventure sports?
Yes. I was NCC cadet for 3 years, and whatever opportunity I could get, I utilized it in fullest. And through NCC only, I was participated in number of mountaineering expeditions. And every year I used to go to the Himalayas, and it is like once you go there, you cannot live away from the mountains. So and then I was
Himalayas calling.
interested. Then I motivated. Yes, then I motivated number of persons also to join the trekking programs and enjoy the surroundings. And
absolutely, I've been on 2 treks and some more cycling expeditions also, but it is a wonderful thing. And
yes,
I would say adventure is one word that defines you. But can you tell me 2 or 3 more words that you can we can describe you with? How would you describe yourself?
Well, after facing number of hassles in routine life, I try to keep myself calm and confident and manage my emotions so well that I'll keep myself happy and makes others happy also.
So adventurous, calm, confident, and a person who spreads happiness.
Yes. I try to spread happiness.
You succeed. You succeed.
Not necessarily. But
I'm telling you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes. But would you always describe yourself in this manner? Have you always been this way?
No. It not always. But during the process of my journey, I tried my level best to achieve whatever I desire, and never tried to compromise with my values and my goal.
And if you can think of who or what influenced you and made you what you are today, what would you say?
Well, influence, I cannot directly name any one person,
Mhm.
but my students only influenced me, and
Mhm.
according to their requirement to catch
Mhm.
them, I
Mhm.
try to develop myself accordingly.
Right. And what about your parents? How did they influence your life? What do you feel that what role they had to play?
Yes, they encouraged me, uh, and never treated me like you should not do this, not go there, here, like that. Whatever
Mhm.
you wear, so we were
Hmm.
free. They
Hmm.
motivated me every time.
That's very nice to hear because quite often when you try to do things like adventure sports or NCC, many parents feel that girls should not be doing this. But
Yeah.
with this background of adventure sports, if I asked you that, did you always feel safe in your childhood? What would you say?
Um, Not always feel safe,
Hmm.
uh, but comparing to the other family members and in the
Hmm.
society, ours was the joint family. So
Hmm.
about that security, there were no issues. But
Hmm.
like my father was a social worker, and number of persons used to visit our place.
Hmm.
So that time he could judge that some fellow is not good in his look
Hmm.
or his. So we could
Hmm.
judge him. Or I never like to visit that person or serve him tea or something like that. So
Hmm.
this all happened. It's not only physical.
Hmm.
Our personal space. We all know that it is a some uh, 1 meter circumference we need. That this is my personal space. But
Hmm.
it is not limited only to the physical distance. I think psychological security,
Hmm.
and when we just from the looks of the person we can feel that the person is not good, like
Hmm.
that. I think equality comes like it is a gender equality,
Hmm.
and the law may not give every equality to us, but we can develop ourselves, or we can have that attitude at least,
Hmm.
and give equal treatment to the boys and girls, and if the
Hmm.
son and daughter if you have in the family, equal
Hmm.
rights should be there, equal
Hmm.
training should be there. Like this sexual abuse thing, the girls as well as boys also, they should be made aware of the situation, because it is not only
Hmm.
girls that are experiencing these things, even the
Hmm.
boys also can be abused many times.
Hmm.
Yes, in our society, like say most of the cases, the man is a earning person in the family, so he's more
Hmm.
powerful. He's like sometimes
Hmm.
he's a dictator. Whatever his decisions are there, the
Hmm.
family members are required to obey them.
Hmm.
So the power makes that person more powerful, and I think economical dependency of the family members on him
Hmm. Hmm.
makes him greater.
Hmm. As he thinks it.
He thinks it. Yes, I think 90% or most of us probably have the same experience of getting abused some way or the other, directly or indirectly. I don't think stranger is there involved in the this abuse, uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
children abuse, because
Hmm.
it is even in the family also, the tuition teacher or the near member also, they are staying, And sometimes the reason can be there can be a small house and family members are more, and again satisfying some motive is the main cause. And it is not the, it is family members and person close to you uh, is the most I think responsible person or responsible thing that can happen in the surroundings. Unknown person may not be there to do, because this is a process, suddenly it cannot happen. Those who want to abuse, they watch, they have a thought process, and the day comes where they act accordingly. Control this. Only social awareness, talking about the things, making aware that this is wrong and one should be aware of that, then only the real vision will be there. Law will not definitely help. Number
So
of
we need to
unreported
create more
crimes are there.
awareness.
Yes,
Yes.
more awareness. We need to talk about it. The thing is that so many days I never heard that this topic is there and somebody is discussing about this.
So we need to talk more about it. We need to create awareness and we need to spread the word around, and then the law comes into action.
Yes, law cannot prevent. The number of laws are there, but lawbreakers are also there. Provoking for particular thing, then harming also sometimes. You physically you harm, psychologically you harm the person. Can be abusement. I think even the looks of the person, if the girl is pretty or fair or dark, and the comments that girl receives about their
Yes.
physique, so that
True.
is also the place where the person is abused. I think the child's behavior will be away from normality. Some anxiety issues can be there. Then sleep disorder can be there. Child may feel insecure about his thing, and child can develop distrust in the society or even on the parents also. So trust is a very important factor that one person should have. So this distrust will lead to the malfunctioning, which will lead to the anxiety and certain other issues of behavioral pattern. I don't think, because whatever they have experienced, it may not be there in the conscious level, but it will be remain in their conscious life, and which indirectly can evoke in a later on period and about their stability of life that can happen. There
So
can be
some
individual
sort of
differences
effect.
also. Some
Yes.
sort of effect will remain there. I don't think in present scenario they will confront, and sometimes they may blame to the child only that you are reporting is wrong. Probably his intention may not be like that. That's what I feel.
So
Because
they will
parents
not
are not
confront.
aware. That's because they may think that it will spoil the life of the statue. And the trust is so much that he cannot do like this because he is my family
Yes.
member, like that. So no one believes that this can happen in my family, with my child, with my brother, like this. So we have a blind trust sometimes, and that blind trust may not be the real. because stigma can be there. But approaching police will be the last thing. They want to protect their child and just close the chapter. Don't talk on the issue anymore, or like that. No, I don't think, because this topic is so sensitive. Nobody wants to talk to you about it, and even the police is not sensitive about this. They are not sensitized. They are not trained like that. Probably they will reject the case and they'll say, "आपका घर है, आप manage करो." I'll make more sensitive this topic to whomsoever I will come in contact.
Yes.
I'll explain the matter, and what the Sakshi is doing is I'll make them aware that such kind of NGO is there and working for this. So be aware. Okay, I am Rakshi.
Thank you. So thank you so much, Garima, for joining us here. And let me thank you formally for our viewers too. So this was a campaign that we are running from Sakshi as the Rakshin Project in partnership with the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. And through this, we are trying to sensitize and skill build 18 to 22 years youth so that they can recognize, identify, address, de-escalate, report and resolve sexual violence within the family and in their communities. And why are we doing this? We are doing this so that we can make visible the fact that 90% of the abuse is happening within the trusted circles. And still it is not reported. It's severely underreported. So what can the law do if the crime is not reported? And with your voice and support, we are trying to amplify the work we are doing by giving visibility to the fact that child sexual abuse does not get reported, what we should do if it is not reported, and what is the role of the family and bystanders. So thank you very much for joining us in the session today.